Hey everyone, my name's Josh, and today I'm going to give you a tour of this 2019 Ford Transit Connect camper van. A couple of things I want to mention before we get started. Most of the products that I talk about in this van build will be linked below. And then I'm also going to put my contact info down below so that you can shoot me an email if you're interested in having a van conversion done. Now, the majority of the electrical system in this build was purchased through a company called Renogy, which is a very well-known name, especially in the van conversion world. Unfortunately, I had one of the worst experiences I've ever had dealing with Renogy. I strongly recommend not using any of their products. They have extremely bad customer service, and if you do have a problem like I did, you are going to get nowhere. Next, you're going to notice some windows on the slider doors in this van, and those are purchased through a company called Van Windows Direct. I also recommend not purchasing anything through Van Windows Direct. Save yourself the headache and just look elsewhere. And now, let's get started. So like the other van tours that I have done, start on the outside and then we'll get to the interior. So I'm gonna jump behind the camera and give you guys a look. So up top here, you're gonna notice 3 100-watt solar panels connected together on a simple frame to try to minimize the length of the panels. Behind that, you'll see the Max Air fan. Again, the model will be linked in the description below. And here you can see these windows. The idea with them is to have a small window that you're able to open. It's kind of within the glass. So it is a cool concept. That way you can have some ventilation when you have your fan open, and you don't have to reach forward to lower these windows using the controls on the door. Here I have made a platform like this before in the older body style of the Transit Connect. Just a simple platform that allows for some extra, storage. Below it has a leg that's supporting it just on a hinge, and then you do also have a little bit of storage underneath the platform. It utilizes a handful of contact points to provide support for the platform. Like you can see here, this is a bit of wood that's cut to rest on the plastic part of the seat here. And then when the door is closed, it really has nowhere to go this way. So now we can take a look inside. We'll start over here on the right up top. This is a very common request I get in these vans to extend there's a factory shelf built into these Transit Connects, and all I do is extend it forward so that you can have a bit of storage up here. Again, in the older body style, the height of the van is much taller, and you do get more space in this overhead bin. This client was interested in having roller shades as opposed to any sort of a curtain for privacy. With that said, roller shades are very square, so it is needed to box in a ways to fill in the light leaks that would happen because of the curvature of the van. But behind here is just your standard shade, self-closing, which is convenient. And then down here is kind of a bench style cabinet. This would be the pooper. Over here is just a little bit of storage for your TP and whatnot. And then this is just a removable top so that you can access your waste bin. And then this bin over here is actually designed for a cat pooper. This was a bin purchased by the client, so the cabinet was designed around these 2 items primarily. This is kind of like the cat door entrance. The idea is the cat will walk in here and hang a left and make its way to the cat box, do its business, and come back out. There's a little extra space behind that box there to store your cat litter. And then that's also a door that opens to be able to remove the cat box out the side, which I'll show you here. Sorry for all the noise. I live by an airport, and I guess we need fighter jets here in Wisconsin. So just leather drawer pulls and door handles and whatnot, but this door pops open so that way you can slide out the business box. And then this is a large drawer that pulls out, which is nice in the event that you have something on top of this panel here. You don't have to move it to get to what's inside. And then this is also hinged, so that way when the door is closed, you have access to what's inside that drawer. Now from this angle, you can start to see the inside of the van here. I'm gonna hop back around to the other side here. These freaking jets. So now we can take a look on the left here, and you'll notice a sink, just a simple hand pump faucet. My idea here was to try to minimize doors and whatnot, because this might be the smallest van I've ever converted. What I want to do is make a false wall here. It's on soft close drawer guides, just slides forward. Then you have access to your fresh water and then just a small gray water. So then that just pulls shut. It's out of the way. Now taking a step inside here. So like I mentioned just a minute ago, this is just that storage bin with a drawer. And then this is also just a large compartment for all the goodies. This box here, unfortunately, is just, it's covering the receiving end of the slider. So you can see this pocket catches the mechanism on the door and when the door closes, and it kind of just sticks a steel little box right here, and it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing in the world. This side, it's buried inside of the cabinet. So taking a look over at the main cabinet here, we have our lights. This is just a dimmer switch. And then some 12-volt ports and USB plugs and whatnot. And then this is actually an on-off switch for the inverter, which I'll show you here in a little bit. It allows you to not have to access your inverter to turn it on, which is pretty nice. Above the counter, there's just a small little storage bin, using a little leather strap to kind of keep things from falling out. Below that, just some various hooks and things. You have a 110 outlet. Trying to use a little bit more space, I was able to recess kind of like a cubby back into the wall for some additional storage. Again, a little leather strap to hold anything you want. Up here is just a leather loop, likely to be used for just like a hand towel or whatever. I guess on this side I can show you, this is a hinged top, and this actually reveals a extremely large cooler, refrigerator, freezer type deal. This is currently, it's set as a freezer to keep frozen food inside. So that tucks away, and then you can use your counter space again. Now just below the countertop is an additional little, pull-out tray so that you can just kind of maximize your counter space. And then below that is a microwave. Now, I'm no microwave guru, but just as a heads up in case this helps anyone in the future, this microwave was purchased because it was marketed as a low wattage microwave. On the product page it says it's 700 watts, and so there's currently a 1000 watt inverter in the back. The 700 watts is what the microwave uses to cook the food, I guess, but the input wattage that is required is 1050 watts. So it does not work currently. So unfortunately we had to upgrade to a 2000 watt inverter, which is not here yet. But double check if you are, crunching numbers to figure out what kind of power you're going to need. If you are looking to include a microwave, to make sure to check what the input wattage requires to run. So then below the microwave we have just a little drawer. It's kind of shallow because the wheel well is actually behind there. Just some paperwork from all the products. And then this is kind of a longer drawer here that I was able to squeeze underneath this freezer. One thing I forgot to mention is this is actually a stainless steel panel. The idea was to allow the client to, if you decide to go with anything magnetic, that you can just stick it right to that sheet. On this side, it's simply just a mirrored box, but this is just using carpet instead of the metal. It's a little leather strap to hold in all the goodies. Up top here is another roller shade, just like the front. Pulls down and it clears behind this countertop here to give you some privacy. And actually you can see, I'll show you here in just a second, but that's a little storage cubby I was able to squeeze inside the door. So now I'll crawl out of here and we can go through what's in the back. Again, this is that little storage cubby that I just mentioned. On the left here, the last little storage compartment contains most of the electrical. This particular van has a 175 watt lithium battery. And then the idea was to get all of the fuses kind of in one place so that that could be the first check if anything is not running. You can check if you blew a fuse or whatnot. And it's hinged, so below that is actually going to reveal all the wiring. And then here is a battery isolator, and that's going to allow you to charge this battery when you're driving down the road. A little Bluetooth, I don't know, antenna or something, so you can monitor the solar from Renergy's app, I believe. So then that just tips back down, and then you can close it up. So this is your charge controller that is regulating what's coming from the panels to your battery. And below that is our inverter. Again, like I'd mentioned, you do have your on-off switch here, as well as a couple 110 outlets, but there is the remote feature, and that's what this kind of like data cable is doing, allowing you to turn this on and off from that switch by the sink. To the right of that, this is simply just a vent to allow that freezer. You can actually kind of see the vent of the freezer through the grate here, giving it some ventilation. And then because of it being a corner cabinet, you often end up with some dead space. So I was able to squeeze one little drawer in the back here underneath that freezer as well. So one thing I forgot to mention was the slider doors actually have the roller shades mounted to them. There's enough clearance that when the doors are open, the roller shades don't interfere with anything on the outside, and they clear the corner when closing the door. So that was kind of a pleasant surprise. So I don't think I forgot anything. If you do have any questions about any particular part of the van build, please leave me a comment below. I'll try to get back to as many people as I can. This was definitely a challenging build, being that it was a new body style compared to the other Transit Connects that I have done in the past. But the client seems fairly happy with it, and hopefully they're able to take it on some fun adventures. Thanks for sticking around through the entire tour. Again, if you are interested in having a van conversion done, my contact info is going to be down below. Feel free to reach out, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the good old thumbs up button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.